When you are chronically ill, sometimes rest can feel redundant, unnecessary, and pointless. I mean, you've rested before and it hasn't helped. So what's the point? Shouldn't I be trying harder to get better? Shouldn't I be putting in more effort? But the answer is sometimes no. Sometimes you really do need to rest, and that is perfectly okay. I had intended to make a full video where I'm sitting at my desk and showing my face, but I've had a rough week, and I feel like all the energy I have right now is to record my voice. And I'm recording it to remind both you and me that it is good to rest. And there are days our bodies need this rest more than we realize. In some cases, our bodies may even be sick because we never rested when we should have. And now, our body is forcing us to rest. We live in a world now that loves to talk about self-care, mental health, and recovery, and yet, we never seem to put these thoughts into action. We say the right words, but we never actually allow our bodies to rest. To turn off the devices, shut out the noise, take a break from social media, close our eyes, listen to the rain, and whatever else we know our body is actually craving. We're too busy, and we all have this pressure from society that we need to be grinding away at our jobs, fixing up our homes, playing with the kids, exercising, fighting for a promotion, and anything else that we manage to add to our never-ending to-do list. And it's not that any of these aforementioned things are bad. In fact, they're all good things. But if this is all our minds are focused on, then we are never truly resting. You see, there is physical rest. This involves sleep, a massage, the occasional lazy day around the house, etc. Most of us are decent at engaging in this kind of rest. But where most of us struggle is giving our brain the proper rest it needs. If you are anything like me, even when you are supposedly resting, you are thinking about all the things you need to do. I often find myself laying on my acupressure mat, listening to a meditation or calming music, and yet I'm sitting there thinking through all the things I didn't accomplish because I didn't feel good, or how I need to start working on that next YouTube video, or will I have the energy to play with my kids tomorrow? And the thoughts just keep rolling. And so the question then becomes, am I actually resting? Or am I just as active while doing a meditation as I am during work? Our brains need rest, and we need to give them the time and space to rest. Now, I'm no expert in this, but I am learning that this often involves less stimulation, more quiet time, and internal communication that you are allowed to rest. We need to start by putting our phones, our tablets, the TV remote, the video games, the music, all of this stuff needs to be put aside in order for us to rest. We often think that watching our favorite movie is restful, but on the contrary, we are still forcing our mind to work. We may think that the calming music is soothing, but our brain still has to process all of the sounds, the emotion of the song, the harmonies, and the dissonance, and so our brain still does not get the break it needs. From time to time, we simply need silence. Silence. No distractions, no thoughts, no chores, nothing. We need to be still. Why is it every major religion incorporates quiet and stillness into their routines? In Christianity, we are told to be still and know God, and all the other religions encourage something similar. What did they all figure out thousands of years ago that we can't seem to figure out now in the modern world? That we as humans need silence and rest. We need time and space to just sit, to allow ourselves to do nothing. I want you to imagine for a moment what life might have looked like a few hundred years ago. You might have woken up on your quiet farm to a warm sunrise. You would start your day with food and drink with your family, gentle conversation over warm bread and fresh eggs. After freshening up, you head outside to work the ground with your hands, fix things around the home, maybe take a break to feel the breeze in your hair. Brush the horses, milk the cows, water the crops. Perhaps you hum a tune to yourself as you work. Maybe your daughter comes out to see you to show off her new dress her mother made. You spend the day with your family, with your feet in the earth, and your hand at the plow. And though the work is hard, you know the work directly benefits your family. And at the end of the day, you gather together over a home-cooked meal with the aroma of fresh herbs, homegrown vegetables, and hearty meats. You spend the evening playing and laughing as a family, and you go to sleep when the sun tells you to do so, and rest again until the sun wakes you. Now, I'm not saying that life back then was all sunshine and rainbows, but I want you to at least compare that picture to our modern way of life. We wake up, check our phones with endless emails, texts, and alerts about all the responsibilities we have to complete. We see news headlines of war and death, and we check our bank account to know that we still don't have enough money. Then we eat a rushed breakfast to race out the door to our job, where we are underpaid and undervalued, performing repetitive tasks we hate for companies who see their employees as expendable. And when you leave your job, you race home for just a few hours in the dark with your family. And once home, we are all so tired that we start staring at our phones, we watch TV, and eat the processed food before dragging ourselves to bed, knowing the following day will be exactly the same. Where is the rest in the modern world? At least in the past, there was quiet, there was joy, and you knew that you had a home. A real home, not just a house. You wouldn't have the distraction of seeing what thousands of other people are doing online. You didn't have to think about whether or not you were doing as good as others. You simply lived your life and cherished the little moments as they came. We need to get back to this. We need to enjoy the little moments, to find rest in the day-to-day life, to put aside our work to look outside and watch the birds. We need to put aside our side hustles to laugh with our kids. We need to allow ourselves to breathe and sit in the silence, to be okay with not getting anything done, to be okay with rest, not just rest for our bodies, but also for our minds. And with all of this in mind, I want you to know that it's okay. And if all you did today was rest, that is good. So my friend, continue to rest well, and we will see you soon. Take care.